On November 13, 2022, 4 students at the University of Idaho, Moscow, were suddenly found dead at a home near campus. This news left the authorities and nearby citizens in shock. In this video, we will be telling you about what we know so far about the death of these students and the investigation into the student murders. But before we begin, make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel. Let's go. Mr. Art Bettge, the mayor of Moscow, Idaho, revealed in an interview that the authorities had already begun an investigation into what had transpired. He also noted that the case was being treated as a homicide. Bettge said the authorities were confident that there was no perceivable danger to the broader public, but he did not say whether a suspect was at large or how the victims were killed. Mr. Bettge said, "With a crime of this magnitude, it is very difficult to work through." He also added that the police needed more time to piece together what had transpired. "The overall assessment is that it's a crime of passion," he said. "It is rather saddening that these students weren't expecting their time to end so soon." The authorities responded to a call about an unconscious student on Sunday. They discovered 4 dead individuals, 1 man and 3 women, at a house near the University of Idaho campus. The authorities identified the victims as Wash, Madison Mogan, 21, of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho; Ethan Chapin, 20, of Conway; Kaylee Goncalves, 21, of Rathdrum, Idaho; and Zana Kernodle, 20, of Avondale, Arizona. Online profiles of these 4 victims revealed that they all appeared to have been close colleagues and had been involved in sororities and fraternities on campus. The Latah County coroner, Kathy Mabbutt, also believed that all 4 deaths were homicides and that there was no case of murder-suicide based on the situation. Ms. Mabbutt said her office already planned to conduct autopsies, and she could not share any information about how the victims were killed without authorization from the police. A senior environmental science major, Bailey Briggs, who lives in another neighboring building, also said she knew about the case through the university's alert system, but had received additional information on the case since then. Although the police assured the public that there was no imminent threat, she said many people were still worried about the killings. "They say it's a homicide. They're 100% sure it's a homicide," she said, "but there's no threat. Like, what's that mean?" Briggs said. The university president, Scott Green, said in a message to employees and students, "Words cannot adequately describe the light these students brought to this world or ease the depth of the suffering we feel at their passing under these tragic circumstances." What became even more strange to individuals was that these deaths occurred on the same day as a shooting that happened at the University of Virginia, killing 3 members of the university's football team. The campus had to be locked down for 12 hours before it was revealed by the police that a 22-year-old student who happened to be a suspect had been arrested and charged. Who was arrested? More than 6 weeks after these students were found stabbed to death, a suspect, Bryan Christopher Kohberger, 28, had been taken into custody. He was arrested in Pennsylvania in connection with the killing of these students and is being charged with 4 counts of murder. Kohberger was arraigned in front of a district judge in Pennsylvania, where his bail was denied and remanded to Monroe County Correctional Facility. During an extradition hearing on January 3rd, he did not fight being returned to Idaho. On January 4th, he arrived in Idaho after being handed over to local authorities flying from Pennsylvania. Kohberger is being held at Latah County Jail. In a court document unsealed Thursday, January 5th, an investigator said that the suspect's DNA was seen on a knife sheath at the crime scene. A police corporal in Moscow, Brett Payne, also said mobile phone data reveals that he was around the victims' home multiple times months before the attack, and to worsen his case, he was even there on the night of the killings. On January 12, Kohberger appeared in an Idaho court, and a preliminary hearing has been set for June 26. He waived his right to a quick preliminary hearing, and his defense team asked the court for time to prepare for the case. According to a law enforcement source, he was arrested at the home of his parents in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. During his arrest, he was listed as a PhD criminology student. He was also a teaching assistant at Washington State University's Pullman campus, a short drive from Idaho. At Washington State University, the Department of Criminal Justice and Criminology responded to the news of Kohberger's arrest in an entirely separate statement that was seen on the department's homepage on the university's website. Dated December 31st, a day after the arrest, the Department of Criminal Justice and Criminology at Washington State University is aggrieved by the alleged horrendous acts of one of its graduate students. "We are relieved that justice will be carried out. Our hearts are with the victims' families," the statement reads. Jason LaBar, Monroe County's chief public defender, who represented Kohberger for the extradition, noted that Kohberger was eager and expected to be exonerated, describing him as an ordinary guy. He further said Kohberger would be represented by the chief public defender once he gets to Idaho's Kootenai County. So, there was also falsehoods that the authorities needed to clear up. Throughout the investigation, police have pleaded with the public to only rely on official news releases for precise information on the case. Moscow Police Department Captain Roger Lanier said, "Tracking down rumors and quelling rumors about specific individuals or events that may or may not have happened is a huge distraction for investigators and oftentimes is the result of social media propagation." He said rumors could be very frustrating to investigators and hard to stay on track. Well, police have already debunked different rumors that surrounded the mysterious deaths, and they also refuted online reports that claimed the victims were tied and gagged. Also, police revealed that the killings of these 4 students were not related to 2 other stabbing incidents in neighboring Washington and Oregon, which happened in 1999 and 2021 respectively. Although they might have shared similarities, there's no evidence to support the cases being related, according to a news release earlier this month. Police have also made it clear to the public that a September incident involving an argument between a cyclist who displayed a folding knife and a group of individuals walking on the University of Idaho bike path does not have anything to do with the students' killings. Also, police have released information eliminating some individuals as suspects, including someone listed on the lease of the residence where the killings occurred. Moscow police said, "They have spoken to this individual and confirmed they moved out before the start of the school year and were not present at the time of the incident. Detectives do not believe this person has any involvement in the murders." Also, police ruled out the 2 surviving roommates in the house during the killings and other people inside the house when the emergency call was made. Although 2 of the victims, Goncalves and Mogan, were driven home by someone after they bought food from a truck a few hours prior to their killing, authorities also ruled out the driver as a suspect. And that's it for today on the death of these 4 University of Idaho students. Before we go, make sure you subscribe to this channel and give this video a like so that you can stay updated with more relevant news like this. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.